Hello everybody, my name is Farmer Phil, and in today's video we are back at the Beet. At long last, ground is dry, the tractor's fixed, 4-wheel drive, all's working away there to the finest. They didn't put back on the mud guards, we'll put them back on when we're finished, just want to get going. So, it is February, 5th of February. Our Beet is shook, that's one way of putting it. So the leaf material that we're left with is very little. You can see even from the last time we were here that leaf has died because we've had a bit of frost, but there is there's just about enough leaf there, just about, and it is making for difficult pulling. So it is, because there's so little leaf, there's a very little window between choking it and pulling it. Doing too bad there now. Two kind of problems. One is some of the Beet has been affected by the frost and the top of the leaf structure is gone mushy. So while the Beet itself is good, the leaves aren't there to pull the Beet. That's what I'm going to do now, is gather up some of what I've got. The other part is where the leaf is just too short and it's not enough to catch it. But while we're not going to get all the Beet out because of how it is, we will be able to salvage some of it, and the Beet is still good because this is sugar Beet. It survived the frost relatively good, except for the tops. The Beet itself is in relatively good shape, whereas the likes of fodder Beet that would have a lower dry matter, a softer Beet, the frost would have went to town on them and taken everything above ground would have started to rot. Talked to a couple of lads who lost a couple of acres of Beet that way. We're going to salvage whatever we can out of the field, and then what we do with what's left in the field, we may put cattle to it, we may not. We'll just have to wait and see how that goes. Cattle will, because the way the plough is going to turn over all the Beet, that even the Beet he's not pulling, it's going to leave it all above ground, so even if we put cattle out here, the cattle will be able to eat all them Beets. What can we do? At least we're back here and we're getting a bit done, so we'll get all we can pulled, but I wouldn't think it's going to be too much now. So now everyone, Liv's favourite words. I'm pulling. I've 2 hopperfuls pulled now. I've pulled one headland, I have half of the other headland pulled, and I'm now going up and down just to pull part of the far corner off so that I can finish off the other headland. And not going too bad now. We're reckoning somewhere between 2/3 to 3/4 is what we're getting. We're getting definitely more than half of the Beet, somewhere between that. We're not getting them all, unfortunately, but we're getting a nice bit now. And Father Phil's quite happy with how I'm pulling, and hence I'm still pulling. He's turning the trailer there for me. He's going to go on home. So we're going to go back down this side now, which hasn't been pulled since we were here months ago. So hopefully it's all right. Line ourselves up now. We're going to have to cut our own track now doing this one, because it's one of the wet tracks where we got stuck before. So PTO on up to 1500. We're in low box 3A. Off the throttle, drop the plough in, and then I just don't have what I had on the other bits to follow. So we're just trying to guide her along there now. I have to do a bit of self-steering now just to try and keep it right. But once we get a couple of runs in on this bit, it shouldn't be too bad. It's not pulling, it's pulling all right now. It's just, there's a bit of a balancing act in it now, and just getting it right. We're just going through one where I got real nearly stuck now in the middle of the field. Kind of just seen the beet going in. So all I'm doing is trying to keep the belt hovering above the ground ever so slightly, just to try and make sure that it's catching the beet. But if I let it go too low, what happens is it catches the beet rather than the leaves, and it blocks it. So that's the one thing I just have to be careful of at the minute, is that I don't block the belt. And it's a balancing act, because as I showed earlier, there's not much relief left. We're quite happy. We didn't think when we come into the field that we were going to be just getting as much as we are. So now we're on the far headland, lift her up, knock her off, pull her in. What I do now is just back to the bottom of the headland and pull the headland up, and then go back down the field that way and rinse and repeat, and we'll see how we get on 4 runs this end and 1 down. This headland, the beet, is slightly better on the leaves for whatever reason, I don't know, and it's pulling much better this end than it is the far end. So it is starting to get in the dark side. We're going to be back here tomorrow, and we're going to finish up whatever we get pulled tomorrow. So we'll probably fly the drone and all that stuff tomorrow, but it's not doing too bad. Not doing too bad. And also, for anyone wondering, this is the day after we buried my uncle. So yeah, but look, it is what it is. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see the end of harvest 2022, but we'll get it pulled for him. Without further ado, I'm going to go forward. Oh. And now it is dark, but we have a full trailer. Happy days. As I said before, between 2/3 to 3/4 is what we're getting, and it's actually looking quite good at the minute. So we're going to be back up tomorrow. We're going to pull it all tomorrow. Hopefully, touch wood, nothing breaks on us. But yeah, it's running away there. Very, very nice. And it's 4 ups and downs to the hopper, and then it's, I've put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 5 hoppers to a load. We'll be back down here bright and early in the morning, and we get this beet pulled. We'll be on back to the yard with the first load. Lots of oil. Too much oil. Always is too much oil. So we are back in the field, back to go pull beet now. We've had a small supper of rain, as you've seen there. Just started when I started tipping the load there, and wasn't heavy. It's just a kind of a heavy mist. So it hasn't done anything, except for it's just the ground looks a bit greasy, but driving in there it was fine. Luckily now, once that's all we get, we'll be all right. If we got consistent heavy mist, after a couple of hours it would get a bit tricky. If we got heavy rain, we'll be ploughed the field. If it stays dry enough for the rest of the day, we'll be grand, we'll get all pulled. So, time to fire this old girl up. Engage that. Right, lift that. Let's go get some beet pulled.
And ponds and country songs, good old sweet home too. Broadway bars and loud guitars, backyard barbecues. Work on Monday, friends on Friday, college football beers. I got everything I need and I got it all right here. That's what it is, that's where it's at. That's what I like, nothing wrong with that. Don't wanna bust my groove, cause I'm on a roll. Just having a good time, going with the flow. Going with the flow. Andy, Barney, and B.O.B. fishing poles and boats. Pontoon Sunday afternoons, anything that floats. Bo and Luke and all the dudes, their boats on TV. Radios and rodeos, works just fine for me. That's what it is. That's where it's at. That's what I like. nothing wrong with that. Don't wanna bust my groove, cause I'm on a roll. Just having a good time.
So just tipped my second bin there. Try and keep a track of how many hoppers it takes. But I've sped up one gear, I've gone into D just after I got a bit look at some of the footage I filmed there of leaving the camera on the back of the harvester, just looking at the belt coming up, going into the knives. I had a good few leaves but no beet. So I reckon if I sped up, that would bring the plough in quicker, which would loosen the beet, and it may just make that difference. And it seems to make a difference because that was the fullest hopper I've had now. It was a bit too full to be trying to tip. I was a bit concerned, but anyways, it seems to be working a little bit better, driving that bit faster. And that's the thing when you're pulling beet, you're trying to match your forward speed to your belt speed, pulling it back, and then to your plough getting to it. Too fast, and your plough is knocking the beet before the belt really gets to grab it. Too slow, the belt is grabbing the leaves and pulling them off before the plough gets under it to give it a bit of a loosen. So yeah, it's not working too bad now. But anyways, we'll lay her up, we'll go back down the row, and away we go. Not advisable holding the camera and trying to pull beet. You have to be doing a lot of minding. Anyway, so put away the camera. Let's load number 3 in. Hopper number 4. We'll go fill in. Hopper number 5. Hopper number 6. Unload filled. First loaded today. We reckon there's tight 2 more loads in it that we're going to get over. Unfortunately, Father Phil's got to bring that half home. It is annoying though to know we're not going to get all we should have got out of it, but it's like we've already explained. We didn't get the harvester ready in time. If the harvester's ready in time, it'd be a different story. There's nothing we can do about that at this stage. But the harvester's not missing a beet at the minute, nor is the tractor. She's working away there the finest in the conditions it's in. We're still getting that 2/3 to 3/4 of all the beet pulled. So we're 1/3 to a quarter of the beet is still there. So I think the consensus at the minute is we'll run up our batch of bullocks up here for maybe 2 weeks. There's a good acre or more in around that whole owl house there, and there's a nice bit of grass down in the far corner there. So there's a bit of grass there that we can munch on that, as well as graze the beet and the tops that's left out here, and that'll just, we'll get a bit more out of the field. That's how we'll look at it. So I'm going to pull another bit, and I'll probably have to wait for him to come back with the trailer before I get him emptying the next hopper. We'll go pull at the far end, the wet end of the field, because why not? It gives me something to do while I'm waiting. So hopper is full again. Well, I could put more in it, but I won't take another full run. And the heavier you get, the softer you realise the ground is. And there's Father Phil literally just coming in the distance, and see him coming across the road there. So that wasn't bad timing now. But anyways, we come, we get this tipped, and I'm just starting to pull the very bottom of the field now. So there's some short runs, and then there's the very headland or the outside run. So we're going down the short run, then coming back, and then I have to go back up to the middle because it is soft down there. So every time I unload, I go and take a row out there, 2 rows out there, just to be moving that back up the field into drier ground. Otherwise I will get caught having to pull 2 runs tipping, 2 runs tipping, which takes a lot of time. So we'll try and work it that way. Here's Father Phil. So we'll get this one tipped and we'll get the next load filled. So I lost the plough. Never noticed I lost it either. It's just the first shear bolt broke. So yeah, it's held on by a shear bolt, so when you get a stone, there's the culprit there. not a big stone either, that it breaks off, it doesn't break the harvester. So back all the way over there and put back on.
Run it over. Head out now where it should be. Way out. Head in the water. Head down. That's it. No, going after.
No. So we're back, had the dinner. That end of the field is done. It's just this bit here, and that stretch just kind of in front of me where the bend is, that's a wet bit there. So we now have to start pulling that round that way, but I have to be careful because can't go in there with too much on me. And then there's a couple of runs that way, we'll see what we get over. But that's where we're at the minute. Flying it, absolutely flying it. So we light her up again. We pull. Another load into the trailer. Just filling the back end of the trailer now. It was nearly getting stuck there, so mightn't just have a full bit in this. Oh, don't spill it. Right. So that is her full to full. Now we'll go get another one lifted. So Father Phil is back after tipping, and it's probably the fullest load I've put on the hopper, because I just kept going till it got to the point where I was afraid I'd get stuck. I'd have that much on. So it's as full as I've put one in it yet. So we should get another 2 hoppers, I'd like to think, maybe a bit more. That's it. So yeah, we'll go pull some more beet. Gotta put away the camera because I have to do a lot. Could do our third arm for holding the camera. Anyways, we'll go pulling it. So daylight is starting to catch us now, and I'd say we're on the second last hopper going in now, depending on what I get or the next couple of runs. It's starting to get a bit soft. This is why I want to get rid of that. This is where it gets tricky, because you need to turn away from the trailer and pull away. So we're on the home run now. We're down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows, and we are done. All harvested. Harvest 2022 finished in 2023, but the main thing is it's done. There is rows there. We'll see what we can get out of them, but we'll concentrate on getting this middle bit pulled over, and we'll see how we go on then. And if we're just done before dark, I'll be happy out. And we'll be on home and we'll back this into a shed. We'll have it ready for next year then. Anyways, let's get this beet finished. And that's it. It's just dark, and that is the field of beet gone. There's a couple of runs at the bottom. It's gone dark, not got chances. No point getting stuck this hour of the night for what's left to be gained. As I said, we'll plough. There's plenty of bullocks out here. There's an acre of grass around the house. They'll get this and that, and they'll do maybe a week or two, and they'll eat up whatever we forgot, lost, didn't get. Well, anyways, time to line up here and get this load in, and we'll have a look at what we have in the yard, and we'll get this beet harvester into a shed ready for next year. Safe and sound for next year. The one thing should have been done with it after we pulled it out after 7 years. But anyways, right. This lever. And this concludes Harvest 2022 in 2023. And it's not a badly packed old trailer, so it's not. I think there is stuff in the bottom of it, so I'm gonna have to give it I give it a wash before we drop it up to the shed. Pull all that shite off it. But that's it. We'll be home back to the yard for a while. And we are back in the yard. I have the harvester cleaned off. So I've taken off all the clay, everything. Just went across with my hand and took everything off it. I was going to wash it. Father Phil said don't, because if I wash it now I'm going to wash water into bearings and that's going to sit all summer. He says just take off all the clay you can, and that's what I've done, especially around all the motors and stuff like that. That's where it was bad from the last time. So she's all cleaned down that way. Back it into the big shed on an out farm where it'll sit ready to go for next year. And she worked perfect after all the issues we had, but we cannot blame it. It was 7 years out there, but we have it now and we have her running lovely, very, very nice. And the tractor has never went better. Now she has a working 4-wheel drive and a brand new pinion shaft, so now we can turn it on and off. Brilliant job. And our pile of beet, Father Phil is actually quite happy now. 3.5 load there today, so we've a nice, if it was all shoved up now it would be a nice quarter of the pit, I'd say, but we won't shove it up. We'll leave it like that, give it less chance of heating, because it's February. The pile of beet will be likely to heat and start to rot. It should be okay, it all depends on what the weather does. So we're just going to leave it like that, and we should just about be able to get into our cleaner loader from there and then chop it and all is good. So we pulled 1 load and another load between all the other bits, so we've 5.5 load out of that field, and we should have probably had another load with what was left behind. I'd say, yeah, that'd be about right. If I'm saying between 3/4 and 2/3 collecting, there's probably another load still in the field that we didn't get, but as I said, we'll run a few bullocks out there. They'll clean off around the house and they'll go out and they'll take all the beet tops and bits that's left, and we'll plough it back, and we'll probably go with spring barley or spring wheat, something like that. This year, 2023, we are going back to doing something that we used to do. We're going back at the beet contracting, so we are going to be providing the service of sow, spray, harvest, the whole lot, from the plough into the ground till the harvesters in the field pulling. We're back providing that service to any farmers who want to get in touch in the Longford, Roscommon or Westmeath area. You can head over to Stewart Agri on Facebook and you can send me a private message or give us a ring if you know us or have our number. We're going back at that, and that's going to be my little bit of an enterprise. That's why I done all the beet pulling, because that was me getting tuned into the harvester. So for next year, that way I'll be able to do the harvesting myself. And yeah, the beet operation is going to be my little thing. So if anyone is interested in growing beet, according to Chaglis, is one of the cheapest crops per, if we get this right now, it's one of the cheapest crops per unit of energy, nearly as cheap as grass to grow. So it's one of the best crops you can grow if you're looking at growing some food on your own farm. So if you're interested, get in touch with us. But with the harvester going and all our beet equipment going now, and we're going back growing beet for ourselves, it's as well that we make good use of our equipment. So it is. And if I get enough acres signed up for this year, I may do something about this old harvester and get ourselves into a better way of pulling beet. We're going to leave it at that for today's video. Interested, get in touch with us at Stewart Agri on Facebook. That is it for me. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday. Good luck.